emos, y'all need to get a location in the airport. I think we're missing out. We need it in the airport. Now, I don't know how that looks business-wise, but I think that is a way that, like, you know, your brand, because everybody from, you know, when they laying over, like, in pieces, like, that's the things.
What's going on, OpeCast? Today we have a very special guest. We're at Hustle City, sanctioned right here at the City Foundry. Have A Game.
Yeah.
On Instagram, A Game STL, but he's bigger than STL. He's one of the best MCs out of St. Louis, out of the Midwest. Very excited to have him here. He has this clothing brand, and we'll talk about that, but appreciate you coming on.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, brother. I appreciate you having me. It's an honor. I think you're doing real good work for the city. I think every day more and more people paying attention to it. So I appreciate you allowing me the platform so that more people could pay attention to it.
Man, and we're in your space too, so I appreciate the backdrops here.
Oh, yeah. Like, thank you, bro. I'm so proud and thankful that we got the space and, you know, we able to create a lot of memories. And like, this is, if it's not already, it's becoming a staple, you know what I'm saying, in our town. Like, it's one of those things where if you haven't been to Hustle City Sanction Hustle City, however you say it, you're really missing out. But I think that, like, the next 5 years, everybody gonna be like, yeah, like.
It's the spot. I mean, you guys have concerts here, game nights.
Yeah, like.
Are you still doing Vesmosas?
Yeah, the Peach Fest Mimosas. We'll have them today.
Saturday.
Yeah, Sip and Shop Saturday. So, you know, we kind of took the concept from more high-end stores where they allow you to sip and shop, you know, Louis Vuitton and them type of places that give you, you know, drinks for you to peruse, but we do it here, but with a twist, you know, with the Peach Vest. You know, if you're not from St. Louis, Peach, or Vest in general is our soda line, and that peach and that mimosa just go together so well. And it's also like a unique icebreaker, you know, like when it's like, yeah, you coming to spend, but I'm like, hey, you want a drink? They're like, absolutely. You can see it. They stick around a little longer, and they feel a lot more welcomed, and that's a huge thing. It's a huge thing.
Whose idea was that? Someone's. Oh, it was yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think, you know, everything is a joint effort, but I did low key come up with the Peach Vest Mimosa. Like it was during a 314 day. I forget which one, but like a few years ago, we was just looking for something to, you know, kind of give us a little razzle dazzle, and the Peach Vest Mimosa was born, and we ain't let that go. We not letting it go. I think it's at this point.
You can't.
Yeah. It's like
someone else is gonna pick it up. Hey guys, we discovered.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I hope I would not rather, but it would be cool if somebody else was like, we got Peach Vest Mimosas too, because then people gonna be like, they got that from Hustle City. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't, I don't care. But I enjoy it though.
Well, let's start talking about your upbringing. So I think saw you on Instagram. I started my account in 2020. I think I saw you in like late 21 or 22, I think. And it was, I think it was Trey. I was MC Trey, for those who don't know. I think he shared your video. And so I started following you, and I was like, this dude is different. Like, this is sick. Like, you were freestyling without a beat. You know, and it was poetic, and I think you were going on like college tours all over the country. So let's talk about your upbringing, growing up in St. Louis, and what got you into hip-hop.
Well, I think, one, just growing up in St. Louis, I'm from the north side of St. Louis. You know, we know that the north side has a lot of, it has a reputation, you know what I'm saying, before you have to explain it. But it created exactly who I am. I'm a very strong-willed, determined individual. That I'm very fiery when it comes to what I believe in. I had a great village around me, you know what I'm saying? I was lucky enough to, even though my parents divorced early, I had uncles and aunties, and my great-grandfather was alive when I was, you know, up until I was 18, you know what I'm saying? Like, up until I was 18, and that's very important just because, you know, I'm getting generations worth of wisdom and game. My great-grandma was alive on my dad's side. You know what I'm saying? She was very adamant about me. She was trying to get me to play the piano. Again, being in St. Louis, you don't really think that music could be a career. So I wish I would have took it more serious when she was trying, especially knowing what I'm doing now. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I would have, but I think it all laid the foundation. Singing in church choir, with going because I was in church with my grandpa and my grandma, and like just again having that village that I had was amazing, and just the environment that I was growing up in because the North Side is tough. You know, it's tough, so it just created a tough person. And then as far as music is concerned, to be honest with you, I didn't think it was realistic at no point in time in my life until like I started to do it. And it felt like it could possibly work. Like I'll never forget,
At what age?
in my freshman year of college actually.
Okay.
Actually, MC Trey, he was just Trey at the time. He added the MC at some point, but he was just Trey at the time. But either way, he was working out of a studio with this guy named Haku. And he kind of just had like free reign over it, or at least enough of free reign to where he was like, I heard my brother Tremaine in Blue had told him that I rapped, and I did casually, not for real, but I always was writing and stuff. But he told him that I rapped, and he had invited me to the studio. I ain't been able to shake it since. Just because I heard myself over the record. Actually, Daft Punk, Around the World, is the one that really took it over the top for me. Now, I recorded to like Ego by Beyonce and a couple other records, but it was the Daft Punk record that I was like, this kind of sound good. Like, and I think I know what good music sound like, but like,
You got to hear your voice with a microphone,
yeah.
like a high quality mic, and then you had the headphones on, and you're like,
Yeah,
that's what I sound like.
And then when it actually, you know, when you bounced it down and all, I was like, this kind of sound good. Like, and I ain't been able to shake it since. Had my first performance with Trey. It was like some girl birthday. He had messed up my hair. He had cut my hair, tore it up, so I had a hat on. It was kind of too big for me. I'll never forget it. I was like on stage and I was just rapping like this. I never moved. Didn't open my eyes, didn't move. I just rapped. And I played basketball when I was in high school. And what I know for a fact is like, I loved basketball, but I didn't treat basketball the way I treat music. And maybe because I didn't treat basketball the way I probably should have, me having a little bit of raw talent, like I was sick for a week, and because of that week, I missed out on breaking like the 3-point record of the district. Like, so I'm just saying that to say like I was decent at it.
Yeah. But
But I didn't treat it the way I treat music, where I was overly invested and you didn't have to ask me to do work. You know, I seen a coach recently talk about like with players, where it was like, you want people that are hungry, not people that just want to eat. And I just wanted to eat with basketball. With music, once I figured it out, I was like, oh, I'm hungry. So you don't have to tell me to go to the studio. You don't have to tell me to write. You don't have to tell me to research. You don't have to tell me to, because I did a lot of crazy things for music. Like, I mean, early on, driving 16 hours to Dallas, Texas for, you know what I'm saying, or Austin, Texas, excuse me, for like I performed at like a block party. It was basically on a house. I performed on the porch of a house, but that got me my connects to South by Southwest. But I said it to say, like, you didn't have to tell me to do those things. Whereas, like, say with basketball, you might have had to remind me to go practice.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't normal for me to just be in the gym. I'm in the gym for rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, for music now, because I know, like, oh, you got to be in shape to do this. You know what I'm saying? You got to look a certain way, at least to maximize my range, you know. Being healthy and looking good go a long way.
and breathing. The techniques, man. You
You know.
can't be out of breath, like.
Exactly, and it's noticeable if you are. And I'm one of the ones who I like to rap over my instrumental and, you know, like a show track, not like over my actual song. So I like to give you a real performance. So
Well, and that's like, I've noticed that about a lot of St. Louis artists. They'll either do it over the instrumental or they'll have a live band there.
Yeah.
But then, you know, and I'm not trying to knock anybody
Right.
on the main scale, but there are artists that go, you know, every other day they're in a different city, in an arena, stadium, whatever, and they're like saying like every other word to their song. Maybe they don't have to because the crowd's singing it, but
Yeah.
it's like a lot of the people that are performing in St. Louis or out of St. Louis, they're doing it live.
Yeah. And I think, you know, like, bro, if you really want to be considered one of the best, it just is what it is. Like, that's the type of time you got to be on. And I want to be one of the best. So I want to do what the best do. And actually giving people a show is how you become one of the best. I think that's how I've, been able to maintain a upward trajectory. Like I haven't had my like rocket moment, you know what I'm saying, that rocket ship moment where you could tell like, oh, it's out of here. But I've had like a upward trajectory my entire career. And I think, we're in a place now though where we can tell like that rocket moment is coming. But that only happens if I'm doing things like performing without my vocals and actually giving people a real show.
And it's that aggressive patience.
Aggressive patience.
What was the thing?
I said I'm not in a rush, but I'm in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the truth, bro. Like I don't have no time to waste, but I got enough aggressive patience to not do things that don't benefit me. You know what I'm saying, or not do things that might be a look, but it'd be like I might be compromising my integrity, and I might be compromising my image just for a few seconds of notoriety.
The virality of this thing, and it's like, okay, like, and then that messes up your future.
It does, you know what I'm saying? It definitely put a ceiling on things that you could do. And with such a front-facing job, you really can't afford to make too many missteps, because, and I guess, we see it all, like, you can make mistakes and come back from those, but I'm gonna try not to do that.
Well, and the room for error is already small.
So small.
So you don't want to, even with what I do, I'm like, hey, I support that, I'll go to that, but I can't do this because
exactly
the perception, not that I really don't care what people think about me.
Yeah, but
it's the
right. We got a job to do
in the business.
Yeah,
that could affect this partnership, which will lead to that. So it's like it's all calculated, guys.
Gotta be. I think, but that's necessary, especially in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I think that we was literally talking about it before, but I always use the phrase like our industry standard is low when it comes to this thing, entertainment industry and content industry. Like we're behind, so we are at the forefront of what's to come.
It's like I think our city's behind on accepting it, but we're on the forefront of creating it. Because it's like
that's deep right there.
Think about on the big scale with Metro.
Yeah,
he's been last 10 plus years. He's shaped hip hop.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't have worked if he was just in St. Louis.
It's crazy. So unfortunately true, because the double-edged sword to that is, sorry Metro, but he don't work with us enough. People like me.
Yeah,
there has to be an aggressive like, who is working in St. Louis? You know what I'm saying? And like, it's not that big of a place, so you could go find that. So I think like it's beautiful that he has left and he's not here because he get to experience, the broader scope of the world and what's going on, what's the standard practices and all of that. But it's just like, bring it home now. Like, bring it home to where some of us could go get a deal or, just a better situation. Because that's going to make sure that the north side and the west side and the south side look better, when you got people who are real life successful from these things. So that's just me continuously saying, Metro, we need your help, baby. Come back in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
trust us, man.
Yeah. Yes. Metro, we need you to trust us, dog.
Well, let's take it back. Let's say freshman year of college. You get in the studio. You realize you have this talent. Who did you start like listening to like, not say take a flow, but like, where did you seek inspiration?
I'd say Jay-Z, Pharrell, Kanye, but I would zoom in on like the Jay-Z and the Pharrell. Jay-Z in the sense of like very sharp, very witty, very, very community, and a work ethic like none other, very business savvy. So all of that type of stuff. And then Pharrell, again, I go back to where I said I rapped over Daft Punk. That's Pharrell-ish, That's the type of stuff he would do, where he, take chances and rap on things that are unorthodox. And I admire that, but it's also like, it sound good. And I like that type of music. I like Daft Punk or Coldplay and Mumford and Sons and just all off the, I won't even say it's off the wall, but it's definitely not hip hop.
Well, and for him, we've gotten to see the growth in his career. Because like my observation on music, it's like, you have the first two big albums that come out from an artist, and people want to see what after the first two. The first one will have like 5 of the songs they're playing on the radio. Or
Yeah, absolutely. The ones that are stained in your memory.
Yeah. So that's on that first album. Second album, you may have a few, but then at that point, it's like, okay, you're probably not gonna be on the radio as much, but then you're gonna grow as an artist. And the thing with Pharrell, it's been cool to see him grow to where, like, literally, he's been doing the Despicable Me soundtracks. He's about to have a Lego biography like that. And
That's so creative.
That goes on forever. The Grinch, like, that is stuff my niece watch.
Yeah,
she wants to listen to the Despicable Me soundtrack. Which
Despicable Me. But I want to do something like that. I definitely I got records, man. Like, I got records that sound like that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like not just prototypical rap records. Like, I got records. Like, I make music. So while rap is like my primary vehicle, in the garage, I got other, what I'm saying? It's other whips that's like, oof, hey, you made that too? I did. So I really can't wait to like be able to expose that. But ultimately though, no, Jay-Z and Pharrell, I would say are like 2 of my biggest inspirations, just because again, you got that. I'm really just all about the business of it, but I also want to rap better than everybody. And Pharrell, just super creative, very collaborative, and just everywhere with it. And so those are 2 guys that I really modeled myself after.
So for freestyling, how did you develop that skill?
Repetition. Just repetition, just again and again and again and again.
Do you figure out like the word that, like right here, there's a hat that says city. So no matter what, you're going to end on city, and there's going to be a word that rhymes that. And then you figure out, all right, what's going to go in the middle?
When I'm creating, I'm very meticulous. I take a lot of time. Like, I take a lot of time. More than anything, what I'm doing is more so just memory based, like writing over and over and over and over again. But I wouldn't say, and again, I actually want to correct that. I don't want to take away from people who literally, be like, green vest, you know what I'm saying, like that. Like, that's not my style. I like all of the freestyles that I'm putting up are pre-rehearsed. Like, I'm pre-rehearsing mine. And actually, it's funny because people ask me about that a lot. They be like, get up and just do this random freestyle. And I'm gonna go back to where I say I like Jay-Z. Jay-Z doing stuff that he know gonna slap.
Yeah.
I don't got a lot of time, meaning if you give me 3 minutes, I got to give you my best 3 minutes. So I don't want to just be grasping for straws and like doing stuff that could work, but I want to punch. Like, I want my punches to land and then be effective. So I'm very much so like, I'm coming with my best premeditated possible, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm writing it all and, just being very, very adamant about writing it and perfecting it versus like trying to impress. I always, you watch football at all?
I used to watch a lot more than I do now.
Fair enough, me too, because when Tom Brady retired, I was out.
Same, yeah.
When Tom Brady retired, I was done.
Watching since I was 10. Did not
care. But so you really gonna relate to this. I hate when people say that Aaron Rodgers is more talented than Tom Brady. I absolutely hate it. And it's like, Aaron Rodgers in rap terms is a freestyler. Like, where he do things that you be like, dang, he rhymed Lego with Ago and, did it like this. So where people be like, oh, that's talent. Whereas Jay-Z or Tom Brady is meticulous. It's and he wins. Like, so I would say I'm more like in that lane versus like and I see guys who can freestyle real well. I love it, like where they like off the top with it. Whereas mine, nah, buddy. I knew what I was gonna say, but I knew what kind of weapon I was hitting you with before I came here. So that's what I like about like Tom Brady.
Yeah, once LeBron leaves the NBA,
you're over with.
I mean, I've been having this conversation quite a bit with people, but it's I watched almost every basketball game in 2020 and I think 2021 in the bubble and stuff. And I was watching all the sports, and then I was watching one of the sports talk shows, and they were frowning upon something an 18-year-old athlete did, and I was like, yeah, man, why would you do that? You have this and then I started thinking what I did when I was 18.
Right.
We make mistakes.
Yeah.
But we have these shows now where these like 40-year-olds are
Hypercritical of
on
them.
every single thing they do. And then I started thinking about like with how sports betting is, and grown adults, grown men are spending their hard-earned money to bet on teenagers and people that are younger. And I was like, it got to a point where I was just like, okay, the guys I grew up watching are done. Like sports are getting in a very dangerous place. There's a lot of money in it. And, Missouri is probably going to pass here. I mean,
It better. I mean, like I get the downside of it, but the upside too high. The next thing,
yeah. Hey, for real, hey, if any of the casinos want to sponsor this podcast,
Yeah.
they're more than willing. But I'm just saying, I think sports, like people just, like we know how to separate
Yeah.
from it. Some people don't.
Most people, you can
Most
tell.
people,
You
yeah.
can tell most people are not very good separators of them. But no, I definitely understand. See, I ended up developing a liking to Steph. So LeBron will retire before him for sure.
Yeah.
Barring injury, but I think LeBron will probably retire first. But no, I still got some time with the NBA. Like I got Tom Brady like investment in Steph Curry, like where I'm like literally invested into whether or not he win. But I do understand, like I don't have a player after that. So
It's been fun to watch that though too, because he's like sprained ankle, championship, and then like they don't even make the playoffs. They win another championship.
yeah. And he undersized. That's what I enjoy so
Yeah.
much. Him being an undersized guard and to be able to have that kind of impact, it almost remind me, like that's the reason why I was drawn to Tom Brady, because like his story. I feel like that story of being like the third string, nobody to come and just whooping everybody. I was like, I like that guy. And the worst part, I'm sorry St. Louis, but I actually started being a fan of Tom Brady when he beat the Rams.
Same, yeah.
I didn't have like that. At that time, I wasn't really watching football, but I was just because of the Super Bowl. And I'm like, you don't see this dude? This dude, Tom Brady, is nuts.
That's back when he looked like a normal guy before.
Oh, yeah,
the
he
Hollywood
turned up.
look.
Yeah, he turned up. But that's what money will do to you. Money will definitely allow you to, trust me, when things get to a point, y'all be like, that game looks different. No, I'm rich. That's what's going on. Nothing changed. I'm rich.
That'll be like season 5 of the podcast. Well, this is season 3.
Yeah.
I need a haircut right now, but I'm doing a wedding next week.
Same.
So I'm like holding off. I'm like at that point where if I go this week and I go back next week, it's gonna kind of mess up. So I'm like, I'm gonna look ruggish on this pod.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I think, that's what middle class rap's about anyway.
Yeah, it is.
That was a good segment, you know what I'm saying? Look at
That's
that,
what I
I
have right here.
accidentally segued.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's what middle class raps is about. I think, being very in tune with like the reality of situations, versus like doing things just because versus like doing them because like it makes sense. So like you saying like, I'm gonna just get on the pod without the cut. Like, could I go spend this extra bread, but I'm gonna have to do it again? Like, doesn't really make sense.
Middle class thoughts.
Middle class raps. Like that's literally sometimes like when certain things happen, me and my dogs will just say like middle class raps. It was funny. I got suspended. I actually just got fired too from this particular job. But I got suspended before I'd opened up. So I just opened up for Lil Tyler and Nardo Wick. Right before, like literally I'm driving on the way there. I get a call and they're like, yeah, we suspended you. Stupid reason I clocked out 5 minutes early. Technically it was 7 minutes total. It was 2 minutes late in the morning, 5 minutes late in the afternoon. And he called me and was like, you suspended. It's like, bro, whatever.
2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Come on, man. And mind you, I've been at this company for like 2 years. I do sales. I've been selling my butt off the entire time. Like, but I knew it was over. I was gonna quit that job in 2 weeks anyway. So like, really, they just got to break up with me before I broke up. So it ain't even no big deal. But what I was getting to was I Facebooked that. I made that a status because I Facebooked before and was like, I'm opening up for Lil Tyler and Nardo. I got 5 minutes to make this crowd love me, but I'm gonna do what I need to do. And then the irony was, the next day I was like, well, y'all remember that 5 minutes that I told y'all about? Well, I did it. I killed the show, but I also took off work 5 minutes early and got suspended for it. well worth it. And people started writing middle class raps or middle class problems. And I think that is just super cool that like people are starting to, my brand is getting strong like that, to where when they think about me and certain things, that's what they say, you know what I'm saying? So like,
There's a lot of layers to it nowadays. Instead of just like this song going on the radio or streaming services, it's like your brand is bigger than just your music now. It's the lifestyle of middle class problems, middle class raps.
yeah, I represent something. Like I represent something. I think, you know, I've always, like, especially when I wasn't as seasoned or smart, I used to think like my music could be for anybody and everybody. And you know, just being frank, I haven't made it yet. So there was a point prior to middle class raps where I was like, bro, I just moved to Atlanta, and I was like, man, look, this ain't really working. I went to Atlanta, and I was like getting in competitions, and I was like losing them terribly, like not placing. And I just was in LA, and I was winning competitions, getting money from these things. And so to go from that to go to Atlanta and not placing, I had to take like a real step back and say, yo, what is going on? Why is it not working? And middle class raps was birthed from that. And I'm so thankful for it because it's allowed this whole thing to be much bigger than, you know, just me. But I still, it being birthed, I still get to represent like the biggest sector of people. Even if I can't represent everybody, I represent
The biggest
sector of people. So before, when I was like, I could, you know what I'm saying, be a representative, I could relate to anybody, sure. But marketing and branding wise, you got to find your, you know what I'm saying, find your niche.
Yep.
And I found my niche, and it just so happened to be, again, the largest pocket of people in America. So it worked. It's working out. It hasn't worked out, but it's working out.
Is that a upwards trajectory?
Man, and it's the most intense I've seen in my career. I'll never forget, my uncle had died, maybe it was a year, 2 years ago, when like this all started. And you ever heard of the platform So Far Sounds?
Yeah, they used to do like concerts or something.
Yeah,
around.
so they still do. It's like a very cool, artist-friendly, artist-centric, underground platform. But that was my first time performing on a platform, and my uncle had died like literally the morning of. I got a call at like 2 in the morning that he had passed. But that was also my first day performing middle class raps type of material in public. So I'm doing like the 1,000 Apps freestyle where I'm talking about not being able to get a job, and I got a song called These Effing Bills, and I'm performing that. And I'll never forget this performance because that was the first performance in my whole career where the people was coming up to me and saying, hey, I feel you. Like I've always had people be like, you dope.
Yeah.
But like,
It's different.
it's a big difference.
Your
you know?
dope is like a like on social media. I feel you's like, let me follow you on your journey. Maybe I'll share it on my platform.
Exactly. Maybe I'll share it. Maybe I'll buy it. Like it's a different level when people actually feel what you're saying. Like you said, it's shareable. It's something that they gon' not just even just share it on their platform, which is dope, but also like in their homes. They're like, no, hey, you need to listen to him.
Yeah.
Like, cause he talking about, you know what I'm saying, like something real. And you know, we all know right now, specifically in the rap genre, we looking for something real. You know what I'm saying? We looking for something real, and middle class raps is that. And it's a world too. It's a world, like a universe. So I'm doing 3 versions of middle class raps.
Okay.
I'm doing the first one. That one is the stuck between a job and a dream.
And how can people find this? Because I have a compact disc.
Yeah.
I had to Google. I forgot what CDs stood for. Just like, and then I went on a rabbit hole. VHS.
Yeah.
You know, what does
yeah.
that mean?
What does that mean?
I kind of forgot.
Okay,
Video home system, I think.
Okay.
I looked it up. You know, once again, I looked it up. I knew it. I may have been under the influence.
Yeah, but we just don't do it no more. So it ain't even a necessary thing to know.
My parents still have VHSs. I don't know what we're gonna play them on, but
Right.
the streaming service. But no,
We're working on find it.
But the thing that's cool about that is now I have a tangible item.
Yeah.
I'm kind of funny in a way that I'll buy a book and then just to put on my shelf, but I'll listen to that person read the book. So like Jennifer Lewis.
So you bought the book and then did the Audible.
Yeah. And so I'm paying double. But
it's a keepsake. And I actually, random, but I've noticed that because people treat that like a keepsake, they haven't quite listened to it all the way yet. Like I got a lot of people like, yeah, I bought it, but I'm not opening this. This is a collector's item. And I'm like, I like that, but I don't know if it's gonna help me blow up any faster.
Yeah.
But I think though, that's a me problem, meaning I'm glad they bought it, and my job is to take the money, reinvest it to where they'll be able to see something else and be like, nah, man, like I gotta go listen to everything that this dude do. Like I'm a true supporter. But you was asking where they could find it.
Yes.
So there's a platform for independent artists, and all independent artists, I would highly recommend y'all get on this. It's called even.biz. And basically it's a streaming service that allows your fan base to pay what they want to pay. So you could pay as little as $1. You could pay, it could be an unreasonable amount of money for an album, but you get to pay what you want to. And that just allows, again, right now, I'm not allowing people to purchase, to download this album for free. It's too good, it's too valuable. And I think for the people that are purchasing it, I would devalue their purchase by just making it accessible to anybody. And I think it devalues the brand, and I don't want to do that right now. Like, do I believe that this is like a classic body of work that is necessary? Yes, then I got to treat it as such. So again, you can only get it on Even or in person. You know, like everywhere I go, there's CDs in here. Everywhere I go, I got.
You stop at TSA, sir. What?
Literally.
This is dangerous. What is?
It literally happened though. Like I think the first time when I first bought like a huge inventory of albums, I had them lined up in my bag, and they checked it, and I was like, bro, it's albums. Like I'm not trying to smuggle nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like I
You
definitely
can stop by customs. Like, all right, man, these are
a little too hot.
These are counterfeit.
Yeah,
It's like
this contraband.
I'd be like, I wish, man, because
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It made for a funny story though. I did post it on my Instagram. Like, you know, they thought I had that pack on me. It was just middle class raps, man. It's a false alarm, y'all. False alarm. I know it smelled like it, but it ain't that, man.
So on this podcast, we love talking food. Yeah. When you're back here in St. Louis, what are 3 or 4 of your favorite spots to eat?
Emos, gotta have Emos. On Hampton though. On Hampton, very important. If you ever come to St. Louis and you want Emos, you gotta go to the one on Hampton. That's the best one. I'm getting it today for sure. I'm getting Vales. I love Vales. I gotta go get some Vales. Now that's nap food, so you know if you're
ready, yeah.
You're gonna take a nap after that. So plan accordingly. What's third? I know we actually was joking about this, but White Castles is typically just because it's not in Atlanta, and they got Crystals. You ever had Crystals?
No.
Absolutely awful. It's terrible, but it's like
The same
it's
concept.
like small
Sliders.
sandwich, slider sandwich, but they fries is awful and sandwich just all right. But then the fourth is probably bean chop. That's our Chinese food on the north side, like where I'm at. So bean chop, I typically gotta go to bean chop, get me some beef fried rice, some chicken, peach vest mimosa.
How's the fried rice down in Atlanta?
My boy Wood, he actually does. So he's building a platform called The Last Dragon, where he cooks St. Louis style rice.
In Atlanta?
Yep.
There's something like that, I think, in Dallas, is what I've been told.
Yeah.
There's like a St. Louis spot where all the people go and they have the fried rice, riplets,
Yep.
Vesses, and some other stuff. I can't remember the name. I'm pretty sure it's Dallas.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so it's another one too. It's called Taste 8. I think they closed, but Taste 8 was pretty good too. They now that was a physical. They had a physical location. Wood is more so on the pop-up, but he building it out, like building his brand up before he go get the brick and mortar. But
Well, I mean, it makes sense because like here we have New York style pizza, we have Detroit style pizza, so you can go to
I did not know that Detroit had a pizza.
Because I really dove into the foodie culture a few years ago. Yeah. But yeah, it's the thick one. It's good.
So they have like, it's a thick, thin pizza? Is that how it works?
It's very thick. I don't know how to describe. Like it's filling. It's good. Like I like to get in that, even though it has marinara on it, I like to dip it in the marinara. But it's probably about 2 inches thick.
Really?
It's almost like a pie.
Okay.
someone's probably watching or listening like, this dude he's a foodie, doesn't know how to describe it. But no, I don't. I've only had it like 3-4 times.
Because again, like I've never in my life up until recently heard a Detroit style pizza. You know what I'm saying? I got a little lady that I know, and she was telling me about it. I'm like, Detroit style? Because mind you, I'm bragging about emos.
Yeah.
That's how it started. I'm like, emo's the best in the world. She like,
And they talk about cheese crackers when they talk
yeah. She started talking about Detroit style pizza. I'm like, nobody ever heard of that. But then you get that humbling experience where you realize, oh, they never heard of St. Louis style pizza either. But,
Dang.
no.
Well,
also, random emos, y'all need to get a location in the airport. I think we're missing out. We need it in the airport. Now, I don't know how that looks business-wise, but I think that is a way that, like, you know, your brand, because everybody from, you know, when they land over, like, in pieces, like, that's the thing. So,
I mean, they have the Ted Drew's frozen custard
exactly
thing. So, that, I know people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I
make the call? Like in the airport, I think about it every time I'm in there. I'm like, we are missing out.
Kansas City, their airport's like tons of local spots, man. I just was there.
But that's why they are booming right now.
Yeah.
They are booming. It's such a weird thing to see Kansas City thrive this way because my whole life we treated Kansas City like the ugly cousin. And now they grew up and
winning Super Bowls.
Attractive now, you know, like attractive and successful. And it's just like.
But St. Louis is living in the glory days.
Not
us, but the general population.
No, we are as a people. I think, you know, like I like to say a lot of time we are delusional. Mm-hmm. We are delusional right now, bro. We're delusional, bro. It is sick because we did have a heyday. And we had a heyday unlike many towns, especially of our size.
Yeah.
Like, we had such a heyday that we didn't realize we was a small town. That's how big we got it. Like, where you don't realize, like, until now, when you drive around and a lot of things are, like, closed or dilapidated, you're like, oh, we're just a small town. Like, but we living in a heyday. I hope we get back to, you know, where it was, but that really requires a lot of forward thinking and, like our leadership to do things that make sense.
Yeah.
Like we don't do things that make sense. For example, we should have gambling by now. Like it's okay. That brings a lot of revenue. You know, quite frankly, we don't got strip clubs here. That's crazy that you got to take that economy across the bridge.
Yeah.
Like it's literally 2 seconds across. You know what I'm saying?
They advertise here like 5 minutes from the stadium or whatever.
Literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, and more than anything, you know, regardless of how you feel about things, like that's it, the economy of your town matters.
Yep.
In a place like, you know, when you go to places like Atlanta and LA and you see how they move and you're like, oh, you guys are doing things to make sure that people have a great time, that they don't want to leave or that they want to come back or that they got to tell a story about it.
And they're spending their dollars. Vegas.
Exactly. In Vegas, you know, anybody who ever been to Vegas, everybody know, like, it's just a strip.
Yeah.
It's just a strip. Once you get outside the strip, it is a very normal place. It's hot, but it's a very normal place outside of that strip. But they invest in the things that, like, make people want to come. Because we can't be like the city that is a city everybody want to come to without those things. You know, like, you got to have those attractions. You got to have those things. And
it's weird. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I have so many incredible opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird that there aren't more of me in a sense. Like, or there may be a few people that do it, but like, I mean, I'm grateful. Like, I have a lot of cool opportunities, but it's still weird to me because we're not hyping up our own city.
But it's hard to because we don't believe it.
Yeah.
We don't truly believe it.
But then like we travel and then we see like, oh, we go to another city. That's a cool graffiti wall. Our graffiti wall is the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
You know, we go to this thing in another city. Oh, that's cool.
But think about that graffiti wall you just mentioned. Like, we are a backwards town because they got in trouble to some extent.
Dude, they're trying to get them in trouble again. They're like, oh, graffiti's on the rise around this city. It's like, okay, that has nothing to do with what they do down there.
Exactly. Like, I get what y'all trying to make this into, but like, this is art. This isn't, like, I get it. Like, a lot of times you may see graffiti and you might tie that in with gangs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, nah, this ain't what that is. This is just beautiful artwork that come from, you know, something that is much bigger than this. But we're a little backwards with all of that. Like, but again, we need good leadership. I always say, and I'm saying to you too, like, we got to go get the offices. We got to be on the boards. We got to be in these meetings to where our influence and our ideas and passions can
be heard. And
Yeah, and sprinkle on the other things, you know, with legislation and laws and stuff like that, because, you know, we trying. I think, you know, we're trying to get back to where we were, but it got to be some, you know,
we got to be
change.
there.
Yes, it's really just up to us, you know. We are the ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are at that age bracket and that education.
Buying power.
Yeah, we here right now where we understand a lot of things and we've seen a lot of things, so it got to be up to us to, you know, do the necessary things in order to change this. And we can, you know. I think St. Louis got a heavy reputation. People know us, they love us, but we just need to make our thing a little bit more mainstream. And that just require, you know, marketing and branding.
Yeah.
Like,
that's by the right people that actually
Yes.
live in the city,
Yes.
experience the city, and not just getting paid to tell the story of the city without experiencing it.
Absolutely. You definitely need, you know, a little for us, by us, you know, a little FUBU. Gotta have that for us, by us. And again, I'm optimistic, but I'm also very realistic. Like, it's up to us. Like, and the word that I started using when Middle Class Raps was first born was intentional. We got to be intentional about our town. And I don't think we quite there yet, right? We're like, because what'll happen a lot of times is we'll see cool things and treat it like it's like not cool. Like, we'll either ignore it.
Because it wasn't your ideas. Oh, that's not cool.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, it's cool. I've heard a term recently, and I'm sure I've heard it before, but recently it stuck out to me the most. So they say, what is it? Rising tides raise all boats. And we got to get that mentality. We got to get that mentality where we don't think like, oh, if this one go up, then we're gonna drown. Like, no, that's not how it works. If you go up, then more people are gonna want to know what helped you get to this place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so we just got to get more intentional with that. Now, we not there yet, but I'm confident we will. Again, you know, you got people like you know what I'm saying, allowing a person like myself to be on the platform and give me eyes that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And that's important, you know, like, that's important. And then we just get more of that, we'll be fine.
Well, it's like I get told, like, hey, what about your competition? And this, I was like, first off, the only competition is me last year. Like, I want to keep growing as a person, but like, the world is bigger than St. Louis.
So much.
And it's like, in St. Louis, the old way, and I hope the right people are listening to this, the old way is like, we're all fighting for the same dollars. You know, even especially like in music, you can only do it these venues. If you're banned from this venue, you can't, if this person doesn't like you, you can't be in these 6 venues. But it's like, the world's bigger than St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like, we can, the old school way, we can compete for the same 5 places for funding, but there's Google. There's
Southwest Airlines. You
can
get out of here, you know, Enterprise. Did you know that Enterprise is owned by a St. Louis family?
Oh, that name's all over town. Yeah, the soccer team, was it $100 million renovation of Botanical Gardens, something with the Symphony building. I mean, man, they're doing a lot.
I didn't know that. I just learned it yesterday. Did not know that.
We have 7 or 9 of the top 100 Fortune 100 companies in St. Louis.
That's so, and that is the stuff that is mind blowing to where like we're not where we need to be, but we know why. We know why. Like, I think we know why, but it's ways that we could change this. I think it's ways that we could change it. I think, you know, some of those old ways, you know, they say old habits die hard. So it take a while for that kind of stuff but we just got to be aggressive. You know, we got to be aggressive. We got to be patient, but we got to be aggressive with like changing it. And again, I'm just glad that you're doing your part.
Appreciate you, bro.
I think that, you know, being the type of artist that I am could have a huge impact on our town just because, you know, I'm intentional and I'm here. And it's like, I know that when I finally get that moment, it won't just be about me. Like, it's gonna be like, no. Other people are absolutely going to win and benefit from me having a bigger platform because, one, we created it ourselves. Like, when you create your platform, you can do what you want to do.
You have all the freedom.
So I can go back to a person like Jay-Z where he was very intentional about putting other people in position. And I would say, you know, there's a obvious and maybe even selfish gain to helping other people, right? Like, but how can you lose from helping people? Like, you win by helping people, and I'm eager.
Rising tides.
Yeah, I'm eager to get into that position to where I can win by helping other people. Right now, I got to be very.
You got to grow.
Yeah. I can't like spend a lot of time and try to help people who they may not necessarily get it. But when you in the situation, Jay-Z, going back to him, he said, I can't help y'all if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back. To me, that's a win-win, which is just ultimately him saying, like, bro, I can't help you if I'm poor. What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do for y'all? Nothing.
Yeah.
So I gotta go and get what I gotta go get, and then I can come back and bring the resources. Which again, I think. Now I love Sexy Red because I think she's doing the best job that we've seen in a very long time of like reaching back. Her DJ from St. Louis, like right before all of that blew up, we had did an event at Soul Dan together, me and her DJ. Blakeyana's on tour with her, like, and you know what I'm saying, like Blakeyana just started basically.
Yep.
So for her to even
have that
you know what I'm saying, to have that
stadiums
opportunity
or arenas, yeah.
Out the gate, it's like not heard of, you know what I'm saying? That's not heard of. But again, Sexy Red, like whether they give her the credit for it or not is in her action being the type of human that we need, you know? So you can say what you want about all the other stuff, but look at the person and like what she actually doing. She helping change people's lives, and we just need more of that. Words
of wisdom. Whether it's someone that aspires to do what you're doing or they're going through a tough time.
Yeah. I think you got to find what you're passionate about. I think you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional with finding what you're passionate about, because that will supersede everything else. It'll keep you going. It'll keep you motivated. I think, again, I just got fired from my job. I had another job lined up, so I was kind of prepared for that. But having this passion that I'm so intentional about, I'm not even thinking about that. Like, like it's a part of my story, I guess, and a part of my life, but like, I'm not overly invested into this job. I'm invested into my passion. I'm invested into what I really want to do on this earth. So that's where I'm at with it. So I would say just be intentional about what you're passionate about. And I think it give you a reason to keep going. Like life is tough. I think, especially now in our economy, like the way everything is, bro, it's so tough for everybody. So I would just be very intentional, again, about what you're passionate about. And then once you find that, I would not be in a rush, but I would be in a hurry. I would be in a hurry to find, the resources and the information, and to put yourself in situations where you're failing fast, where you get out on stages and, you get out and embarrass yourself here and there. But so again, I would be intentional about what you're passionate about, and then I wouldn't be in a rush, but I would be in a hurry with whatever that is, because we only got so many of these, left,
Yeah.
I think, at this age, we see people dropping like flies, or, they circumstance just may become overwhelming. So again, you need to get intentional about what you're passionate about immediately. And then once you figure that out, you just like, don't be in a rush, but be in a hurry. I think, it kind of take care of itself from there, because, when you're intentional about it, like, you just do the right things almost innately, like you end up doing the research, and you put in your time into what matters. You save more, you don't go out as much because you so lasered in to like what it is that you care about. Yeah, and that's definitely where I am in life. Like, I have fun, but even the fun I have be intentional. Like, it's rare that I'm partying and it ain't because I'm around or with some people that it makes sense to be partying with.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm chilling. I'm in the house writing raps, writing songs, or figuring out, whatever the next move is. So again, I would like, just to repeat it, I would be intentional about what you're passionate about. And once you figure that out, I wouldn't be in a rush, but I would be in a hurry.
Everybody, that's A-Game. Appreciate your time, bro.
Yes, sir. No, thank you, brother.
Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.